You asked what binds every Bioshock soul, the Lighthouse answers. A bathysphere descends, Comstock kneels in floodlit baptism. Infinite storm-raged spire looms a prison masquerading as escape. There's always light. Always a man to guide. Start of a infinites, always a storm city disintinto, built on raged stolen spire Rapture's choice looms a prison objectivism, masquerading as escape. There's always light, Columbia's zealotry, into the hollow heart of every dream turned tyrant. The Lighthouse stands at every threshold, its beam a lie repeated across drowned cities. Start of a infinites, always a storm city disintinto, built on raged stolen spire Rapture's choice looms a prison objectivism, masquerading as escape, only to become its keeper, into the hollow heart of every dream turned tyrant. These cities did not fail despite freedom. They failed because of it, a choice, always a choice, offered like bait to men who believe they hunger for escape, but the hunger was planted. The illusion of agency is the Lighthouse's true gift, a prison that masquerades as a key. Every protagonist who climbs its stairs becomes a mirror for the cycle. Each city kills itself by the weight of its own creed, the Lighthouse waiting to guide the next soul to the same precipice. What kind of architect builds a tower to trap seekers in the myth of seeking? Why does the Lighthouse return, if not to mirror the endless recursion of choices that were never choices at all? Andrew Ryan founded Rapture in 1946. Comstock ascended Columbia in 1893 using Ludusfield tech. Both cities died by their own doctrines. Rapture's objectivism devoured its soul. Columbia's exceptionalism burned its sky. The Lighthouse, that twisted spire, is no guide, it is a prison. Each founder believes they build a sanctuary, a choice, but the Lighthouse is recursion. Ryan's no gods or kings traps him in his own hubris. Comstock's Rapture is a cage of blood. The Lighthouse does not lade, it reflects. Every Bioshock protagonist stumbles toward the same lie, control. The cities crumble, the lighthouses fall. The pattern repeats. Choice is not freedom, it is the mirror. The illusion is not in the lighthouse, it is in the hand that builds it. How many more spires must rise, only to shatter against the same unyielding truth? The lighthouse endures, not as beacon, as verdict. The lighthouse is no sanctuary. It is a lock, a prison masquerading as a promise. Every Bioshock protagonist stands before it, believing they chase autonomy when they follow a scripted echo. In Rapture, the lighthouse is Andrew Ryan's cathedral, its fire stolen from Prometheus to fuel a godless utopia. In Infinite, the lighthouse is Comstock's altar, its flame a stolen child twisted into a prophet. Both lighthouses are portals, not passageways. The Ludus twins thread dimensions through their machinery, binding each cycle to the next. The lighthouse is not a beginning. It is a midpoint in a loop older than Rapture's blueprints. Every man who stands at its base is a vessel, a puppet in a recursive cycle. The lighthouse does not lead to a city, it leads to a checkpoint in an infinite regression. The Ludus twins are not architects. They are curators of a system that predates their experiments. Their equations do not create lighthouses, they merely align them. Each lighthouse is a waypoint in a game played across realities, its light a siren song designed to lure, not guide. Who built the first lighthouse? The question is redundant. The cycle has no origin. Every protagonist's choice is an illusion, masked by the weight of their ideals. The lighthouse does not judge, it merely records. A monument to the lie that freedom exists beyond its walls. A verdict written in fire and stone. Rapture's anything goes rotted into a meat market of self-destruction. Columbia's divine destiny curdled into a skybound pogrom. Both labyrinths promise liberation, yet each is a cage built on the same hollow premise, that power can be owned without cost. Plasmids and vigors trade one master for another. The glow of electricity in a drowned hand, the buzz of a syringe in a child's neck, these are not gifts. They are IOUs. Every ability one is a chain forged. Every choice made is a debt signed in blood. Big daddies do not protect, they harvest. Little sisters do not choose, they are chosen. The father figures in their respirators, the industrial tendons binding them to the sea or sky thighs, is not paternalism. It is capitalism's final form, the commodification of dependency. Alden's Rapture becomes a tomb. Zachary's Columbia becomes a pyre. The player character stumbles through both, believing they defy the system while the system devours their defiance. Each lighthouse they approach is not a portal, It is a mirror. What flickers in that glass, not escape, recursion. Every protagonist who enters believes they seek truth. Lie, the flickers in that glass lighthouse does not trap, it transforms, currency. Illusion is its protagonist who architecture. The cycle is not a failure of ideology, it is the point. The light flickers, not a guide, a gag, they call it a beacon. They mistake its glow for salvation. What if the lighthouse's windows bleed not light but lies? What if every desperate climb toward its summit is a descent deeper into the same old cage? The first Bioshock lighthouse does not point toward freedom. It points toward Rapture's frozen corpse, its concrete ribs cracked open to reveal the rot inside. The radio hisses not with help but with mockery, a looped whisper promising escape while the stairs spiral in on themselves. Andrew Ryan stood there once, hands on that rusted wheel. Chose yes to a world of his own design, and what did he build? A prison with higher walls than the one he claimed to flee. The same delusion repeats. Every protagonist climbs that tower, clutching the myth of agency. They believe the light will lead them out. It leads them in. The glass is thick enough to trap sound. Thicker than faith, the lighthouse's glow is a siren's grin. It does not show the way. It hides the way. It tells you there's no way. And you, foolish thing, you believe it. You want to believe it. Because the alternative is seeing the truth, that every Bioshock hero is not a liberator but a repeater. A puppet rehearsing the same rebellion in a theater with no exits. The lighthouse isn't a beacon, it's a branding iron, and its mark is the illusion of choice. The real prison is the part of you that keeps turning back to look at it. There's always a lighthouse, always a man. The city waits, inevitable, its spires echoing the lie of ascent. Each time the flame is a siren's breath, not salvation. The man at the lamp is both guide and guller, his promise a Möbius strip of want. You think you choose the city chooses the lighthouse. The lighthouse chooses you. Iron does not mark the prison. It is the will to return again and again that builds its walls. The Lutes twins are not saviors, they are architects of entrapment. Their equations do not fracture time, they fold it. Each protagonist is a variant, not a soul, pulled through dimensions by the lighthouse's hunger. Rapture, Columbia, the cities are not new, they are echoes. The same city reborn, its spire bleeding into the next timeline. The lighthouse is not a starting point, it is a hinge, a fulcrum. A door that only opens to the same room. Andrew Ryan, Atlas, Comstock, their choices are not free, they are shaped by the philosophy that birthed their world, objectivism, Eonism. The lie of self-determination, each city's collapse is foretold in its founding. The lighthouse does not grant escape, it enforces recurrence. The Lutes twins, neither divine nor mad, are keepers of the machine. Their whispers are not guidance, they are the gears grinding. Elizabeth's power, Frank's atom, the bathysphere's spin, each is a thread in the loop. The prison has no bars, it is will. You think you fight against the system. The system is your reflection. The lighthouse's light is a lure. It promises agency. It offers only repetition. Every rebellion, every revolution, every leap into the abyss is a step in the same dance. The twins do not trap you, you trap yourself, again and again. Until the cycle's end is the cycle's beginning, until the walls you build are the walls you break, and still, the lighthouse waits. The lighthouse stands at the edge of every fall, a tower of glass and lies, a gateway dressed as a goal. Each protagonist approaches it thinking they seek freedom. They seek a cage shaped like a dream. Rapture's spires drowned in objectivist hubris. Columbia's airships crashed under the weight of holy certainty. The lighthouse was never their escape. It was the first hinge of the noose, threshold architecture, cold and unyielding, a structure that masquerades as a beginning, a lie that demands entry. Andrew Ryan's utopia, Zachary's city in the sky, all built on the premise that choice is a right, that the self is sovereign, but sovereignty is the illusion. The lighthouse does not guide, it reroutes. Every path inside converges on annihilation. The protagonist's defiance, their rebellion, their choice to reject the ideology it matters not. The trap is in the belief that they could ever stand apart. The cities burn because their foundations were questions. What if man could be his own god? What if faith could lift a nation? The lighthouse answers with fire, with water, with the same silence that swallowed every generation before. No beacon, no salvation, only recursion. A prison that bends to no will but its own. The protagonist walks in as a savior, they emerge as a ghost. The cycle does not end, it deepens. Each lighthouse a mirror, each city a requiem. The choice was never theirs, the choice was the prison. The lighthouse's light does not guide, it blinds. Its walls hum with the static of 1,000 unmade choices, each step inside a surrender to the lie that ascent is escape. Salt clings to the air, not the brine of the sea, but the metallic tang of blood spent in vain. Andrew Ryan's plasmids promise power, yet their glow is a noose. Every EVE vial, a mortgage on the soul. The vigors of Columbia, sweeter still, mask their thievery in patriotic hymns. To breathe their colors is to let the sky own your pulse. Elizabeth's baptism is not salvation. It is a erasure, a scrubbing of sin so thorough it scrapes away the self. Her song, Wouldn't You Rather, stitches a new past over the old, its dissonance a cage of memory. The lighthouse, then, is both womb and tomb, a place where every protagonist's first gasp of freedom drowns in the weight of their own desires. They climb, they leap, they choose. And each choice is a thread in the same tapestry. Rapture's shattered spire, Columbia's burning bells, the lute twins' laughter echoing through the gears, not as gods, but as gardeners pruning the same twisted vine. What does this demand of us, to see our own lighthouses for what they are, monuments to the hunger we mistake for will? The air here tastes of ash and false dawns, the walls close with every yes spoken in hope, and still we climb, still we choose, still the light lies. The lighthouse is not a promise, it is a palindrome, a loop burned into the retina of the desperate. Each new arrival believes they are the first to seek its flame, each new arrival becomes its prisoner. The city beyond the light is not freedom. It is the same hollowed shell, rebuilt from the bones of the last. Rapture, Columbia, the next. Always the same lie, asterisk choose and you are unchained. Asterisk objectivism, faith, the gospel of code, each is a lighthouse, each a mirror. They offer escape, but their beams are no more than the glare of the cage. The protagonist who dashes against these rocks, whether in tuxedo or overalls, is not daring. They are replicating, their choices are threads in a pattern already woven. Every yes to a utopia is a noose tightened. Every no is a shadow etched into the same stone. The lighthouse builder is always the same man. The city is always ash and salt water. The crash is inevitable. The climb is eternal. Why do they return? Not for freedom, for meaning, for the myth that to be alive is to be more than the sum of your programming. But the lighthouse asterisk is asterisk the programming. A beacon that says, asterisk here be a god. Here be a fool, asterisk to be alive is to be cursed with the illusion that the next ascent breaks the chain. It does not, the light lies. The light always lies. The lighthouse stands, its beam is not a guide but a noose. There is always a man carving his name into the dark. There is always a city rising from the sea, a monument to a lie. The climb is not escape, it is repetition, each ascent a reenactment. You believe you choose the light chooses you. Rapture's concrete, Columbia's glass ashes in the end, echoes of a script you did to write. The architects knew freedom is the final cage. The lighthouse is not a place, it is the moment before the fall and the moment after, the beam gathers. The beam remembers, every hand that reaches for it is bound to its beam. Every voice that whispers there's always a lighthouse is a ghost in the machine. A prisoner in the making, there's no breaking the chain, only becoming it. The light does not lie, it waits, it watches, there's always a lighthouse. There's always a man, there's always a city. Voice fades. What if the lighthouse was never the first choice? What if it was the echo of one already made? The Little Sister's choice harvest or Savune folds the same illusion, that selecting a path makes you free. But freedom's a currency these cities trade in scarcity. Rapture's shadow stretches long and its lessons breed in every pipette of atom. You think you choose, the lighthouse chooses first. Next essay, asterisk the Little Sister.